In this video we're taking a look at the top 5 best Wonderkids, so that means players from 15 to 20 in the striker position who can play in the advanced forward role. The top 5 is based on information that Football Manager gives you. I've put this information into an Excel sheet and I've calculated how good each player is. Then I've also taken information which is in Football Manager itself, such as hidden attributes, the positions they can play, and of course their current ability in the game. If you're curious about how you can start playing Football Manager based on data, there's a link in the description of this video which will lead you to another video where I perfectly explain how you can start playing Football Manager based on data and only using Excel. Without any further ado, let's go to player number 5. Starting the list of strong with Barcelona striker Vitor Roque. The Brazilian forward got transferred last season and can also play on either wing. You can pick him up for 70 to 84 million, but what kind of player will you get? You get a player who is already a starter for any Premier League side that you play him in. He starts the game off with a current ability of 132 and he has a potential of 160 to 190. So if he turns out to be a 160, he is a definite starter for any Premier League team, and if he turns out to be a 190, he is going to be a global superstar. If we use data to look at Vitor Roque, you will see that on a scale from 1 to 20 for the advanced forward role, he is a 13.4, which means, like I said before, that he's already a starter for any Premier League side. Then on to his hidden stats, and as you can see, it's very well rounded with 20 temperament and 5 controversy, which means that this guy will never be the center of any attention and will be a model pro until the end. To give you an impression of how good Vitor Roque can already be, this is the player with his current ability of 160, which is the lower end of his potential. And if you get a save where he reaches his 190 potential, then here you can see what he will look like. Insane player, but of course his potential is 160 to 190, so you won't always get this type of player. With that out of the way, let's jump into player number 4. A much cheaper option in Elye Wahi from RC Lens. The Frenchman can play in every position in the front 3 and is already looking very good. You can pick him up for 45 million to 64 million, but I think if you're a big club you can go even lower. Wahi's potential is a 160 to 169, which means it's not very high, but he always reaches a good potential in game. What's also special about this guy is that from a skill to 1 to 20 in the advanced forward role, he's a 13.7, which means he's the second best player on this list. When looking at his hidden attributes, you'll see that he's very well rounded, and with 15 pressure and ambition, this guy will be a model pro for any club you buy him. Here's an example of what Wahi would look like if you get him in any save with his potential of 160, and here you'll have Wahi's attributes whenever he gets assigned a 169 potential. So as you can see, there's not a lot different, just a few attributes are a little bit higher or in the greens. And for the number 3 on this list, let's move to La Liga. And we arrive at one of the most sought after Wonderkids in Football Manager in the name of Brazilian striker Endrick, currently playing for Real Madrid, because for the purpose of this video I already transferred him to Real Madrid to give you an example of how much he will cost to bring into your team. And as you can see, this guy is absolutely already insane. 18 flair, 18 natural fitness, and the holy triangle of dribbling, finishing and first touch already all in the 14s. This guy is legit already a starter for any Premier League side, I can guarantee you. This Brazilian Wonderkid starts the game off with a potential of 160 to 200. That is absolutely insane, because with 170 he's going to be world class, and with 200 he's going to be the best player in the game. The only reason he is this low on the list is because it takes him 2 years to arrive at Madrid, and then once he's at Madrid he will cost you a fortune to bring in. On a scale from 1 to 20, he starts the game off on a 13 in the advanced forward role. He's the worst player on this list, but because he's still so young, he's actually one of the best ones on this list. Then if we take a look at his hidden attributes, you'll see that he is made to be a model pro. 16 ambition, 15 temperament, 15 sportsmanship and 15 professionalism means that this guy will be the next level professional in the game. These are the kind of attributes that you can expect for Endrick when he reaches the low end of his potential, around 170. And let me just show you how insane this guy would be if he reaches 200 potential. Look how insane this guy is when he reaches 200 potential. If you have money, buy this guy, because you can see if he reaches 170, he's already insane. If he reaches 200, you'll have the best player in the game for the whole of your save. Enough hyping this guy up, let's move on to the next one. Before we go to the top 2, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe down below if you want to see more. It really helps me out. With that out of the way, let's jump straight back into the video. Honorable mention before we jump into the top 2 is Wilfried Gnonto. This guy barely missed out because Wahi was already a lot better in the advanced forward role when we look at the skill from 1 to 20. I just wanted to include this guy because he's absolutely insane physically and technically, and he's fairly cheap to get into your team. So if the other options in this list are a bit too much, go ahead and take a look at this guy. You can pick him up for 15 to 22 million. With that out of the way, now we're jumping into the 2 best Wonderkids in the advanced forward position. For number 2 on this list, we are staying in La Liga and we'll have Yeremy Pino. This guy for 66 million, you can pick him up and you might even be able to go lower when you're a big team. Yeremy Pino, potential ability of 170 to 179, which means in any save he's always going to be good. On a skill from 1 to 20, this guy's at 13.4, which means that he's on the same level as Vitor Roque, but this guy does have some special things that already makes him very, very good. And with that I mean his hidden attributes, because look how insane this guy is. 18 adaptability, 17 professionalism, 18 temperament, which means he will never get angry, no dirtiness, no controversy, and very much important, 14 in important matches, which means that this guy will always turn up when you need him. If Pino can reach a potential of 170, then this is what he'll look like, and if he reaches 179, he will look something like this. As you can see, an advanced forward who's already insane, but with these stats, playing him on the wing, he's going to be one of the best, if not the best winger in the whole game of Football Manager. And then the moment you've been all waiting for, the best Wonderkid in Football Manager 24 is playing for Brighton, and his name is Ansu Fati. Playing for Brighton, and looking at his attributes, you can already see why this guy is so damn good. He has a potential of 160 to 190, which means he's going to be a starter once again for any Premier League side, or he is going to be the best player in the game. On a scale from 1 to 20 for the advanced forward role, Ansu Fati already has a 14.5, which means that he's by far the best Wonderkid on this list or in Football Manager for the advanced forward role. Ansu Fati's hidden attributes look like this, and as you can see it's almost perfect except for one thing, his injury proneness. You can't play him a lot, you should give him a lot of rest and really be careful with this guy because he's made out of glass. But this man of glass is already very good when he reaches his potential ability of 160, which is shown on the screen here, and when he reaches his potential of 190, he will look something like this. As you can see, technically insane as well as physically and mentally. You can pick him up, I think, for around 100 million from Barcelona if you really have the money, but be aware, although this guy is absolutely insane, you have to treat him carefully because he is really made out of thin paper. That concludes this list of the top 5 best Wonderkids in Football Manager 24 for the advanced forward role. If you're curious about how I decide how good a player is in each role, go ahead and click the link in the description and it will explain how you can start playing Football Manager based on data while only using Excel. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching, I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one.